experiment. Mendel has done his experiments in his garden, but now he wants to note down his experiments. He wants to have a graphical presentation of his experiments. For that, he required specific terms and terminologies. So Mendel showed his experiment and results using some specific terminologies. So let's study Mendel's terminologies. He said, character which masks or hides its partner is called as a dominant character, and the character which gets masked is called as recessive. For example, when a tall plant was crossed with a dwarf plant, what you got in the first generation were all tall. Now, when he crossed the two tall plants, he got a dwarf plant. So, he was very sure in these tall plants there was a trait, a character of dwarf plant. So, he concluded that tall plant genes dominates over the recessive plant genes, because in these plants the recessive dwarf character was masked by the dominant tall character of the plant. So he concluded in pea plants, tall is always dominant over recessive dwarf. He took all the other characters one by one and he crossed them, and he found which one is dominant and which one is recessive. Let's see. He took seed shape and he crossed a round and a wrinkled seed. What he got was all round. In the next generation, all seeds were round. So now he concluded that round seeds dominates over recessive wrinkled seed. He noted down, round seeds are always dominating over the wrinkled seeds. Then he moved on to seed color. He crossed a yellow color seed with a green color seed. What he found were all yellow. So in the next generation, all color of the seed were yellow. So now he concluded that yellow seed is always dominant over the green seed. The yellow color seed is dominant over the green color seed. What left was a pod shape. And now he crossed a full pod shape with a constricted pod shape, and he got all the full pod shapes. So now again he concluded that when there is a pod shape, full pod shape is dominant over the constricted pod shape. Because in the F1 generation, he was getting all the pod shape as full. And then he took pod color. The color of the pod, he crossed a green pod with a yellow pod, and the results he got were all green. So again he concluded that green is dominant over the yellow pod color. So this time he concluded yellow pod color is recessive in comparison to green pod color. And then he took color of flower, the red flower and the white flower. The resultant F1 flowers as red. So in the next generation, all color of the flowers were red. So Mendel concluded that red flower is dominant over the white flower. He said white flower is recessive because there were no white flower in the F1 generation, but he got one white flower in the second experiment where he was self-crossed the red flowers. And last, he took position of flower, an axial with a terminal. The resultant, he got all axial plants. So the next generation, position of all flower were axial. So now he concluded that axial flowers are dominant over terminal flower. So in total, tall plant, yellow color seed, green color pod, axial position of the flower, purple or red color of the flower. These all are the dominant characters over their recessive partners. With these terminologies, he concluded in all the characters there is one which is dominant and one which is recessive. What other terminologies he used, we will see in the next module.